It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. I want to thank everybody all around the world that actually shows me love. And I'm going to give it back to you guys because, honestly, without you guys, there wouldn't be no legends. In the House of the Legends, I have a diva, house music recording artist, Koffee Paige The Floetress.
Ow, got that right.
Welcome to the Legends.
Thank you for inviting me, Tyrone.
You know, I was quite excited when I actually was strolling through my Facebook page, and I said, you know what? I looked at some of your shows, and I'm like, she just gives it up. I got to get her on my show, you know? And finally, you have landed.
I am here, and I'm so excited and honored.
You know, you've been around for a long time. So before we get into the actual intermediate part of your career, let's talk about the beginning for you. You know, how did you actually get started, and what influenced you to really get into the music genre?
Wow, okay, so I started writing. I was a writer.
Okay.
And my plan was to write for artists. I just wanted to be behind the scene and write for artists.
Right.
And I started writing, I'm going to say 7, 8 years old. What made me started feeling like expressing myself on paper was growing up in a dysfunctional home.
Okay.
And I grew up with a dad that was a dope addict, and constant fighting in my home, and that became my way out. I would just go in my room, close my door, and just write out my feelings. So my writing skills is more of what I feel, and it's always been that way. I will say, going through school, my teachers would always tell my mom, listen, she can really write, you got to do something with her. And I just went astray, started hanging out in the street, doing this and doing that. But when hip-hop came out, I don't know if you know my cousin, Ella Sensei of the group Artifacts.
I've heard of Artifacts back in the day.
Right. And so they got me more into doing hip-hop.
Right.
And a producer picked me up by the name of Flow Style, and I started, doing hip-hop, and that's how I came into the business. How I got in touch with house, it was not planned. DJ Pookie took some of my vocals.
New Jersey owned.
That's right. Took my vocals and threw it over a track at a really huge party. And I didn't know he was going to do that. And when he introduced my vocals at this particular party with some big wigs there. So they kept running up to the DJ, yo, who is that? Who is that? What is that? What's going on? I'm going back about maybe 25 years now.
Yeah, okay.
Who is that? So on. And I love telling this story because this brother means a lot to me. His name is Lil Ray.
Of course.
And I can remember the Little Ray coming up to me. I didn't know Little Ray. I don't know anybody at this party. And he said, listen, he said, I really like your vocals and I would like to introduce you to someone, get you over to a studio. And I'm thinking, what? This is not the route I wanted to go. This is not the road I wanted to take, you know? And so I met up in New York with him at Quentin Harris' studio.
Okay.
I wrote a song right on spot called Paradise with Quentin Harris. And it was just history from there. It's like once that song was released to the world, it's just like I just been working with and have worked with some of the biggest producers in the business.
Right. And how long you been in the business, Koffee?
Well, with house, I'm going to say about 25 years.
Okay. And, the most remarkable thing is working with Louis Vega. So let's talk about that.
Oh, just awesome. Actually, the song Raw Uncut Hardcore
Okay.
was something that me and my main producer, Adam Rios, we collabed and put that together.
Right.
And when Louis heard it, he wanted to put his spin to it, and then he said, "Listen, this got to go out on Vega Records," and so it was a really big project of mine all over the world. And at that time, I had been out of this, not really doing too much of anything, so it just put me back on the map, you know, with that song,
Right.
Raw Uncut Hardcore. So I'm very grateful to Louis Vega.
In the beginning for you in the house genre, who were you listening to? I mean, who influenced you to give you the motivation?
Wow. My sister Stephanie Cook.
Okay.
I love Stephanie Cook. So many wonderful artists, Monique Bingham. You know, just pretty much if it's good, I like it. You know, I didn't really have someone that just really influenced me because I just do my own thing. I'm a
Right.
floetress, so when I looked around, nobody was doing anything that I was doing. So I've worked with bands, I've worked with jazz, I've worked with so many different genres of music. Put me next to anybody, and I'm going to work my magic.
I hear you.
So I just never really, you know, had any particular person that I just really,
So, working with different genres of music,
right.
how did you feel the first time that you actually got in front of a large venue of people to actually do a performance? What was running through you? What
I
was
get
what was your heart at?
anxiety.
Where was your heart at?
Honey, you don't ask Linda, the sister sitting over there. I get anxiety.
Right.
And no matter how many stages I've been on, it never goes away.
Really?
So whoever is on my team and we're going to the show, okay, Koffee, calm down. But as soon as I get the mic in my hand,
That's it.
that's just it.
You know. Yeah.
So I get anxiety.
You know, we talked about different producers
Right.
that actually, you know, encountered you in the past and stuff. Who would you say will be your best producers you ever worked with that was actually simplified in the studio? Because, you know, sometimes we're in the studio with producers and sometimes a little complication as far as, you know, putting things down. So who would you say was more easy for you to deal with as far as a producer?
Well, I'm going to shout him out because he's everything to me, and I'm going to say this brother named Charles McDougall.
Okay, okay.
And me and Charles McDougall, we would just be up all day, all night in the studio, brainstorming, coming up with things, and we just had that bond. We had that vibe. And if it's like a marriage, it's some, you know, it's when you get that perfect person, it just gels. And that's, I would say Charles McDougall. But I would also have to say Adam Rios.
Okay.
And Adam Rios is just one hell of a producer.
Okay.
And he's just been there for me for so many years.
Right. Let's talk about some current events coming up.
Okay.
Well, before we even go there,
Okay.
now, people that's actually getting into the field of producing, being an actor, singing, whatever recreational genre there is as far as production, what would you say to them? I mean, through all your years of experience, what can you
Yes.
say to the newcomers?
You must have belief in yourself because the industry can be cruel.
Oh, very.
It can, whatever you thought you was, you can get with one producer and they can just shoot you down. So you have to know how to pivot
Right.
and accept criticism. You have to know your worth. And you have to get with someone that's on your team. Because the higher up you go, you have frenemies that's there for the ride. You know, they're not there for you to support. They're just there for the ride.
Right, right.
But whatever it is that you do, like I said, I'm a floetress. I'm a spoken word artist. And I remember when I first came into the scene, so many people say, oh, you do spoken word, without even hearing me, without even knowing my ranges or what all I do.
Right.
They just heard the word spoken word. And so instantly they was turned off.
Okay.
Until I started saying, you can say what you want to say.
I hear that.
But this is how it's going down. And I flipped it in a whole different way that no one expected. And it brought all of the producers to me. And I've worked with Tyrone Francis, Lou Gorbea, Jihad Muhammad. I love Jihad Muhammad because he is my homie.
Okay.
But he said, Koffee, I got this track that I want you to write to. I said, I got you, brother. And we got something coming out. It's called The Main Event. But all of the guys that I've worked with, I am grateful because some of them I did not know.
Right.
And they found me. And I'm saying, how in the world? I work with Tony Humphrey,
Right.
Timmy Regisford, you name it.
And that's cool to have a good camp like that.
Yes.
But we're going to take a slight break. We'll be right back, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
For the love of house.
The dynamic
For the
soul
love of
sound
beats,
of
for the love of
DJ
dance.
Tyrone Lowe. DJ Tyrone Lowe. DJ Tyrone Lowe.
That's nice, 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 nice,
DJ Tyrone Lowe. The dynamic soul sounds of DJ Tyrone Lowe.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight.
This is our house. It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
My assignment, my calling is to inspire, uplift.
You have to make sure your people are partying.
All I want to do is just bring joy to the dance floor and watch people dance.
And we're back. My name is Tyrone Lowe. This is my show, The Legends. In the house of the Legends, I have Koffee Paige Floetress.
Ow.
Now, you said ow. And I'm like, ow. Okay.
Ow.
You have a lot of history, and it's good to know that a lot of producers recognize you as being the person that you are. How did it actually make you feel to know that you're actually a highlight to them?
Honored beyond words.
Okay.
Because when you ask about some of the things that we go through, sometimes we doubt ourselves. And being an artist, sometimes you feel like, wow, I'm not good enough. No matter how many people in the room say, wow, that wasn't good enough. So we are so hard on ourselves. And then when you get that phone call, like, hey, I
Right.
must be okay, and it gives you that. It boosts up your morale.
Right.
It makes you believe. It makes you walk stronger, talk harder. It just gives you the confidence that you need to move on.
Koffee, if you had to do something over again through the years of actually going through your lifehood with production, what would you do again?
I would have learned the business.
Okay.
I never learned the business.
Did you have an experience with that you want to share to the viewers?
No, because it hurts.
Okay.
But If I can do anything over, I would have learned the business. I would have, took advantage when opportunity was there for me
Right.
to learn certain things. And back when we were, back in the day, all we had to do was just be an artist.
Right, right.
That's all I ever wanted to do, is just be an artist. Just get me to. I've recorded in the bathroom, in the closet, where I just want to be an artist.
Right, 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 right.
But nowadays it's a whole different ball game, and you have to be an octopus. Promote your own stuff, get your own gigs, do this, do that, and I just never learn how to produce your own music, learn how to record your own music.
Right.
And I just never learned how to do that, and because I always had to depend on others.
Right.
It left me out of a lot of situations.
Okay. When I say the word management, what did that mean to you?
Having someone throughout your career
Right.
to manage it, to make sure things flow the way they're supposed to flow,
Okay.
basically.
And basically, that's what actually makes a good artist, when you have good management.
Absolutely.
Because the reason why I say that is
Absolutely.
I've talked to a lot of artists, which I've actually interviewed, and when I bring up the word management, I get a reaction from them, because it's like there's good management and there's bad management.
You better know
And
it.
there's a lot of artists out here that actually got some good material. I've heard some promos and some
Yes.
demos, and they're just sitting there and ain't going anywhere because due
Talk
to the fact
about
of
it.
bad management.
Management.
Then you got the management that actually goes behind your back and made the side deals
Oh,
behind your back.
yes. Yes, the deals that you didn't know anything about.
Right, so it's like a trust factor in this industry, because the industry is so cunning, baffling, and so insidious, man, that if you really don't have a good camp of people around you to actually trust,
Right.
you just be like a burning candle,
Right.
just
right.
ready to be blown out.
And it's hard in this house genre because, it's so many different cliques.
Right.
And one thing I will say about hip hop, it doesn't matter if I like this person or not. We all are in this together. When Russell
Exactly,
Simmons
yeah.
put together the awards, his first hip hop award show, it was for everybody. Every artist, hip hop artist that you never even heard of, came up on that stage.
Right.
And now music has taken a turn that is just about the DJs. And it's really hurtful to the artists, because it's like, you don't even exist. There was a time when I had DJs that would say, "Koffee, when you travel, please," they wanted to come along, but now it's about the DJs. So the whole genre of the house industry have changed, and then it's the spotlight is on this many. When we have this many
Right.
artists
Right.
that you don't hear about at all, but you always hear about these few right here.
It's funny that you say that, because there's the people with the big names, and there's people with the little names. And I've seen a situation one time where this person didn't really have a name, but they was really talented, and they was actually trying to correspond with a person that did have a name. And it hurted me to see that the way that they was actually talking to him, that like they wasn't really anybody. But when they got their name,
Oh, yes. Oh,
this same person came up to them and tried to actually communicate with them and brought them right back to day one. And I was like, okay, that's good for him. Because you know what, man? There's no big eyes and little U's in anything in God's universe, because he
Tyrone,
created
that's
it all.
That's it.
And for you to shame somebody that's just upcoming, you actually forgot where you came from.
Yeah.
That goes for being a DJ, an artist, or whatever type of genre that you want to deal with as far as God's gifts. But besides house, are you into any other type of genre of music? Because if you write, I know that you're into a whole different other
What
things.
I want to broaden my horizon.
All right, now.
I like this.
That's
like
what I'm talking
this.
about.
You know, I want to broaden my. I want to touch on country.
All right.
I want to touch on more of jazz. I want to go out to I want to reach out to the R&B world.
Right.
It's just techno. I really, really, really want to hook up with a real top of the line techno
You hear her
producer.
producers? Do you hear
a
her?
producer that does techno. Where are you? I am looking for you. And so yes, I don't want to just be here.
Right.
Like I feel like I've done a lot here. I've worked
Right.
with the top producers here, but there's a whole world I want to get into. My plan is to write a book about my journey of house
Right.
and bring it to the big screen. That's what I want to do. So there's a lot of things that I want to do. Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Koffee, when you write, do you write about a lot of life experiences?
Absolutely.
And, for you to really express beyond that, does it give you a sense of sustainment?
It does.
Tell the viewers about that.
It gives me a way out within,
Right. Okay.
if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, of course it does.
Gives me a way out within. When I grab the mic, Tyrone, when I go into the studio and record, I can say whatever I want to.
You're free.
Just give me that dope track.
I hear that.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
And my supporters know that about me. And I can only be real. Sometimes I'm too real for people. Sometimes my music is so raw that a DJ said, oh, I want to play this, but it's a little too raw. I couldn't. Nothing's too raw. You're the DJ, you got the magic. You know how to make it happen. I got to give props to Naeem Johnson because one thing about Naeem Johnson, he can rock a whole party. I've seen him do it, Koffee, back to back to back to back to back. Take people from this flow onto a Koffee flow. It's just about how talented you are.
Wow. That's amazing. Let's talk about some current events briefly, about what's going on with you and, how people can actually contact you as well.
Absolutely. So I do have, oh boy, let me just try to remember. I got so much going on in my life right now. I have a show coming up. The African Heritage Outdoor Music Event in Montclair. That's a really huge platform. So I'm looking forward to that. And this summer, I'll be on the summer stage.
All right, now. That's what's
So,
up.
and I just go with the flow. I don't have management, so, I kind of pick and choose
Okay, that's cool.
what I want to do.
That gives you a more sense of direction of where
Absolutely.
you're at. Well, you know what? It's been a pleasure, and I mean a humbling pleasure to have you on my show. I want you to come again. And for the viewers, Koffee's going to do a live performance for you guys, which is going to be a treat because the track that she has, it's dynamite. It is slamming. Okay. I want to shoot out to Louis Vega,
Adam
Joe,
Reels.
Adam. All you guys out there, that's actually worked with her. And keep supporting her, man. And let's keep house music on the rise.
That's
This has been
right.
another T-Love video production. You guys stay tuned for another episode.
Yes. Koffee, Tyrone Lowe.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
My assignment, my calling is to inspire, uplift.
You have to make sure your people are partying.
All I want to do is just bring joy to the dance floor and watch people dance.
Woo. This message will not be televised. You will not hear this on Fox 5. It will not be on mainstream media because it's too raw, uncut, hardcore. They came to the Floetress with this Gil Scott Heron disc and said, we need you to deliver this raw, uncut, hardcore. Woo. So I'll be exposing the sheep from the goats, the cutthroats, the snatching pocketbook folks, the car thieves, the crooked police. I'm exposing your ass to corruption from those we were told to trust. Raw, uncut, hardcore. Good women pushed to the side, but I'd rather die dignified, glorifying hoes, sliding down poles. No respect for your own bodies, but expect a man to uphold. Brainwash behavior. And it don't matter how good the money. You playing roulette with your body, honey. See, we already been scrutinized, disrespected and victimized, brought here based on lies. They can't even understand the tears we cry. Refuse to accept responsibility for taking our ancestors' lives. But we were smart enough to build this land and can't even get a helping hand. Pay attention to the results of the revolution. The continued hate from some folks that made the Constitution. Fake president elections, politicians with suspicions and doomed by their own emissions. The haters, the perpetrators, the false legislators, the down low. Black haters. They told me to pour it raw. Uncut, hardcore. Raw. Uncut, hardcore. In jail snitches. For little snacks, you becoming bitches. Raw. Uncut, hardcore. Raw. Uncut, hardcore. Uncut, hardcore. Uncut, hardcore. Uncut, hardcore. Raw. Uncut, hardcore. Raw. Uncut, hardcore. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Adam Rios. Thank you, Mr. Louis Vega. Thank you, Vega Records. And thank you, Brother Tyrone Lowe. I am your girl, Koffee, the first Floetress of house. Much support to the legends.